Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So we're just gonna jump straight into this tutorial today. I'm taking my flat angled brush and dipping it into my eyebrow pomade. On this side of my face, I am going to be showing you makeup don'ts. So it will be the common mistakes that I see as far as the makeup application goes, and we're going to correct that. So on this side, you see I'm filling in my brows very heavily. I'm pretty much shaping it, which you saw in the beginning, me curving out or outlining my brow to the fullest. You do not need to do that. And then yes, on this side it will be the makeup do side. So it's just my take and my version on how to have a flawless face. So I'm outlining my under my brow, of course, but I'm starting in the middle of my brow instead of bringing it to the beginning. That'll give you a more natural looking brow. So at the base of your brow, or at the tail of your brow rather, you definitely want to color that in, but you don't want to do that in the front. And you also want to make sure that you're using your brush or your spoolie to even out the product. Okay, so here we are going to carve out our brows. Number one mistake with the brows is picking a concealer that does not match. You only want to go up 3 color shades for concealer. So whatever shade your foundation is, you should only be going up to 3 shades lighter. So with this concealer, it is in the color Fair, which is definitely not a color that you want to use to carve out your brows. So with this one, I'm just placing the concealer under and over my brow, and I'm bringing it to the bridge of my nose pretty much. You do not need to do this, guys. Alright, so on this side, I took my Maybelline Age Rewind concealer, and that is in the color Tan. And as you can see, it's a little more subtle. It's not too loud. And yeah. So really quickly off camera, I did go ahead and color my brows. I did use a red eyeshadow from the Crayon Case matte book, and I put that on my brow because my hair is red. I don't want to have black brows with red hair. So just take your time with outlining your brows. This does not need to be rushed until you kind of get the gist of things. At the front of my brow, I don't necessarily take the concealer all the way at the top, and then with my pinky I just kind of buff it out, if that makes sense. Instead of using the brush, I just use my pinky. I am going in with the Milk Hydro Grip primer. I am in love with this primer. I probably would forever keep this in my makeup bag. I do have combination skin, but clearly I look past that, because being that it is a hydro grip primer, it leaves your face very hydrating. It's perfect for dry skin. Now with my foundation, I am taking my Juvias Place in the number 300. I believe it's the name Gabon. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is my shade. This foundation does oxidize, so it gets a little bit darker. My preference, I do take a shade darker than my actual complexion, only because once you put your concealer and the powders and things like that, it can brighten up your face a bit. So I would rather go a shade darker than a shade lighter. Now on this side, I'm using Clinique. Well, I'm sorry, on the don't side, I'm using Clinique in this shade. I'm not too sure of the color, but it's definitely a little lighter. Off camera you can see it a little better. It is lighter than my actual skin tone. And I mean, guys, once again, if you're not too sure, I always go a shade darker. Don't go a shade lighter, because once you finish with all of your products, it will leave you with that white cast, and that's what we don't want. So now I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the color Warm Honey, I want to say. And Warm Honey is too light for my summer shade. During the winter, I probably can get away with Warm Honey if I really wanted that extreme highlight, but it's definitely just too white. It doesn't complement the skin at all. So again, I'm going back in on my makeup do side, and I'm taking the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in the color Tan, and that would be my highlighting shade. And I don't know if you noticed, I made a small inverted triangle, so it doesn't have to be too much concealer that goes underneath your eye. You don't need a lot of product there, but me, on the other hand, I like it a little heavy, so and I'm just taking my foundation brush and cleaning up the concealer. Now, contouring. You do not want to go heavy, and you don't want to go dark, or too dark rather. I believe this was from It's My Ray Ray palette, and I use the color Brownie. When it gets to this point, I mean, nobody wants to sit and blend for over 10 minutes. On my makeup do side, I am going in with the Morphe Glambronze palette, and you can definitely see the difference. So on my makeup do side, I am going in with the Crayon Case Chalk Dust, which is their setting powder. I love this powder. On brown girls, I really do recommend that you use setting powders with a yellow base. It'll leave you looking flawless. I believe this is in the letter N. And they actually have a 40% sale going on today, so definitely grab one if you can. Now with the setting powder, I'm more so pushing it into my skin. Now on my makeup don't side, I'm going in with the Airspun translucent setting powder. This has a pinkish undertone. Now I use Airspun. Airspun is actually a really good setting powder, but this is not a powder that you would want to bake with for deeper skin tone. So I'm going in, I believe this is from my Juvias Place palette, the Warriors palette, and I'm doing a simple eye look.
Nigga, you know I like that. You could play this game that you play. Tit for tat, nigga, you know I like that. You could play this game that you play. Tit for tat, nigga, you know I like that. You could play this game.
When on the makeup do side, you want it to have some type of dimension. So I'm going in with that brown shade from the Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette. And then I'm going to go in with the darker brown. I don't believe it's black, but it's definitely a darker, deep brown. And I'm gonna make a V on the outer part of my eye, and that'll just give it some dimension.
Rolling up some good shit, you know how we do it. I let a nigga cruise in this pussy. Look what you started, you gon' be broken hearted. Shouldn't have started again, you couldn't finish it. Tit for tat, nigga, you know I like that. Two could play this game that you play. Tit for tat, nigga, you know I like that. Two could play this game that you play. Tit for tat, nigga, you know I like that. Two could play this game that you play. Tit for tat, nigga, you know I like that. Two could play this game that you play. These niggas get your cash up when they wanna act up. He's humping on these hoes.
Alright, so you see me here going in with my L'Oreal Super Blend. I believe it's a pressed powder. So as I'm dusting away my setting powder, I go in with a shade close to my foundation color. And I use that to wipe away the setting powder. So instead of me just using a brush with no product, I'm actually placing some color back onto my skin. So that definitely cancels out any type of flashback. So there's a tip for you guys. I did show you on my brush that there's no product, and I'm going in on the don't side and I'm wiping away the setting powder. And as I stated, this will leave you with a cast. You'll still see the powder and it'll pretty much just make your face look unnatural. So I'm taking my blush and I'm just bringing it all the way all over my cheek. You don't need to do that. You don't necessarily have to do that. On my do side, you see I just put it on the apples of my cheek and just lightly dust it over it. So I'm going in with my Urban Decay setting spray, my all-nighter setting spray. And that's what I'm using all over the face. Eyeliner I'm using is from e.l.f. It's their chunky black eyeliner. And I use that to line my waterline. Now with mascara, there's really no way to put on mascara. You can either move the wand from left to right in like a wiggling motion, or you can simply paint it onto your lash, which will give you a more neater, lightly coated look. If you guys want me to do a video on how I apply my lashes, leave a comment below. And on my brows, I did take a brow setter from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I feel like that just leaves your brows, it's definitely sets it in place, but it just makes it look a little bit more defined. Now on my makeup don't side, ladies, oh my goodness, highlighter. You do not need to go crazy with the highlighter. Your skin, or if you look at your face, it'll actually show you where you need to place your highlighter.
They know what's up, we about to run down on this nigga. Tit for tat, nigga, you know I like that. Two could play this game.
Wherever the light hits on your face is where the highlight needs to go. You don't need to go crazy on the highlight. It's not necessary.
Tit for tat, nigga, you know I like that. Two could play this game that you play. Tit for tat, nigga, you know I like that. Two could play this game that you play. So this nigga got home about 2 a.m. lying, say he was out chilling with some friends.
With lip liner, this is definitely optional. With me, I do have thinner lips, so I like to outline my lips with a chocolate liner. It can be Chestnut from MAC. In this case, it's from Morphe. I believe the name is Trendsetter. And I'm just showing you on one side how when you bring the liner inside of your lip, it'll give it a more defined look. And then on the other side, I just kind of did it where you see the lines. I don't know how to explain it, but you see what I'm doing. And I'm taking my MAC Naturally Transformed lipstick and putting that all over the lips. And then on the makeup don't side, I do go back in and I line it on the inside, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. When you line it on the inside, it just gives it a more I guess you can almost call it like an ombre naturally effect. Now you can leave it like that, or you can add some gloss like me. I'm a gloss girl. I do not like lipstick, so anytime I'm putting lipstick on, you can bet your last dollar like I'm putting lip gloss on top of it. And yeah, guys, this is the finished look. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.
You don't wanna play these games with me.